Have you ever wondered what the future of the global economy looks like? For decades, we've lived in a world defined by globalization, where goods, capital, and ideas flowed freely across borders. This system, built on efficiency and low costs, brought us cheap electronics, fast fashion, and an interconnected global marketplace. But that era is rapidly coming to an end. We are now entering a new age, an age of deglobalization, and the transition will be anything but smooth. This isn't just about trade wars or tariffs. It's a fundamental rewiring of the entire global economic and political order. At the heart of this dramatic shift lies a tiny, yet monumentally important, piece of technology: the semiconductor. These chips are the brains behind everything, from your smartphone and car to the world's most advanced supercomputers and military hardware. And right now, a fierce battle for semiconductor supremacy is raging, primarily between the United States and China. This isn't just an economic competition. It's a new kind of Cold War, an AI Cold War, where technological dominance is the ultimate prize. The US has long been a leader in chip design, with companies like Nvidia and AMD at the forefront. However, the manufacturing of these advanced chips has been outsourced, creating a critical vulnerability. The world's most advanced semiconductor foundry, TSMC, is located in Taiwan. This single company produces over 90% of the world's most sophisticated chips, the ones essential for cutting-edge artificial intelligence and next-generation military applications. This concentration of power in one small island has turned it into the most critical geopolitical choke point on the planet. For China, achieving self-sufficiency in semiconductors is a matter of national destiny. President Xi Jinping has made it a top priority, pouring billions into domestic companies like SMIC to catch up. However, the US is actively trying to thwart these ambitions. Through stringent export controls, Washington has cut off China's access to the advanced equipment and technology needed to produce high-end chips. This isn't just about slowing down China's economic growth. It's a strategic move to limit its military and technological expansion. The thinking is clear. The nation that controls the production of advanced AI chips will have a decisive advantage in the 21st century. The potential for a conflict over Taiwan casts a long shadow over the global economy. A military confrontation would be catastrophic, not just for the region, but for the entire world. A blockade or invasion could instantly halt the flow of those advanced chips from TSMC. Think about that. 90% of the world's most advanced chip production could vanish overnight. The ripple effects would be immediate and devastating. The production of everything from iPhones to F-35 fighter jets would grind to a halt. The global economy would plunge into a recession far deeper than anything we've seen in our lifetimes. This isn't a distant, abstract risk. It's a clear and present danger that corporations and governments are now desperately trying to mitigate. This high-stakes environment is forcing a radical rethinking of global supply chains. For decades, the dominant philosophy was just-in-time manufacturing. Companies kept inventories lean to maximize efficiency and minimize costs, relying on a smooth, uninterrupted flow of goods from around the world. The pandemic was the first major shock to this system, revealing its fragility. Now, the geopolitical risks associated with Taiwan have accelerated a shift towards a new model, just in case. In this new paradigm, resilience is more important than efficiency. Companies are no longer just asking, what is the cheapest way to make this? They're asking, how can we ensure we can still make this if our primary supplier is cut off? This means building redundancy into supply chains, diversifying manufacturing locations, and onshoring or friendshoring production to politically stable allies. The United States is investing tens of billions through the CHIPS Act to build advanced semiconductor foundries on American soil. Intel, Samsung, and even TSMC are building massive new plants in Arizona and Texas. Europe and Japan are making similar moves, but this security comes at a price. Building and operating these foundries is incredibly expensive. Duplicating supply chains means abandoning the economies of scale that made globalization so profitable. As a result, the era of ever cheaper electronics is likely over. Consumers will have to bear the cost of this new, fragmented, and less efficient global manufacturing system. Inflation won't be a temporary blip. It will be a structural feature of this new economic landscape. The tech war extends beyond just semiconductors. It's also a battle over the raw materials needed to power our modern world. Take silver, for example. While we often think of it as a precious metal for jewelry or investment, its industrial applications are exploding. Silver is the most conductive metal on Earth, making it essential for solar panels, electric vehicles, and countless electronic components. As the world transitions to green energy and digital economies, the demand for silver is set to skyrocket. Its role as a critical industrial commodity is now just as important, if not more so, than its traditional role as a store of value, but the resource competition goes even deeper. China currently dominates the processing of many critical minerals, giving it another powerful lever of geopolitical influence. Recently, Beijing imposed export restrictions on two key elements, gallium and germanium. These aren't household names, but they are absolutely vital for high-performance semiconductors, fiber optic systems, and military-grade night vision technology. By restricting their export, China sent a clear warning shot to the West. Our supply chain dominance is a weapon, and we are not afraid to use it. This move has sent shockwaves through the tech industry and highlighted the urgent need for Western nations to develop their own sources and processing capabilities for these strategic resources. So, what does this all mean for the future? We are not heading for a sudden, apocalyptic collapse of the global system. Instead, we are in the early stages of a long, drawn-out transition to a multipolar world. The unipolar moment, dominated by the United States after the Cold War, is over. We are moving towards a world with multiple centers of power, the US, China, and potentially other blocs like Europe or India, all competing for influence, resources, and technological supremacy. This new world will be messier, more expensive, and more dangerous. The smooth, predictable currents of globalization are being replaced by the choppy, unpredictable waves of geopolitical competition. For investors, this means navigating a much more volatile environment. The old playbook of simply investing in the most efficient companies won't work anymore. Now, you have to consider geopolitical risk, supply chain resilience, and national security priorities. Companies that are well positioned for this new reality, those involved in onshoring, resource security, and defense technology may thrive. For everyday people, this transition will be felt in the form of higher prices, persistent inflation, and greater economic uncertainty. The global peace dividend that we have enjoyed for the past 30 years is evaporating. Nations are rearming and prioritizing security over economic efficiency. This fundamental shift will reshape our economies and our societies in ways we are only just beginning to understand. The journey into this new era of deglobalization will be challenging, and preparing for the risks and opportunities it presents is one of the most critical tasks we face today. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world. See you next time.